Welcome
Welcome
to Shade
to
and
Shade
the
in the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we're jumping into our review of Put a Ring on It, Season 4, Episode 6. It's Double Trouble. So yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that little like button, hit the thumbs up.
And the subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump into it because this was actually a really good episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
So yes, let's break it down, get into it, and let's get shady. We're jumping back into therapy. And Catherine is obviously calling out Ricky for saying he wants an opportunity to miss her. He brings up how when they were dating before, they were flying back and forth. So it gave him a chance to miss her. Now, Dr. Stacy tells Ricky that he's told her what he wants. And Catherine is always saying that she needs to know what Ricky needs from her. But when she said it, she pushed back. Or when he said it, she pushed back. And she just wants Catherine to listen. So Kat says she's listening and would like him to give her some examples on how she can do that. And she's all for it. I said, I don't know if I believe that. But Dr. Stacy, well, if she can go and get her own me time with Marcus, then I believe she's all for it. So Dr. Stacy says they need to put a schedule together with the family that involves the entire family working together so that Kat can have more time to do her. And so that Ricky has a chance to miss her. Catherine says she's willing to try and says she was a bit blindsided, and it's a scary space to be in with someone who you want to marry and realizing they don't want to be around you. So Dr. Stacy asks her if she wants another date with Marcus, and Catherine says, yes, 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 I do. Yes. Um, and she asked Ricky if he wants a third date with Sheila. And Catherine said, and he says yes. And Catherine says that she wants to support whatever Ricky wants to do. However, Dr. Stacy lets them know that all six of them are going to be going on dates, but it's going to be at the same time, same location. And Jasmine is definitely not feeling this idea. She feels like she may not be able to control her emotions, her feelings, reactions. And Dr. Stacy explains the simultaneous dates is about trust, confidence, and self-control. So we shall see. So then Rick, so Ricky is talking to Catherine and he's asking her like how she feels about her date with Marcus. And, she's like, I want to see how much more we have in common. I bet she does. Ricky tells her Sheila's been holding it down and teaching him a lot. This is why I could just never do this process. I don't have self-control.
Well, she started off by saying she was excited to go on the second date. But
She
then,
did. And
and then he said that she's holding it down. First of all, what you mean she holding it down? Because I mean, I'm the one here taking care of these kids. Let's switch positions and see if she really gonna hold it down for you. Or
well,
she gonna say
word on the
deuces to your
YouTube
ass.
streets,
I
shout out
seen
to
her.
Misha.
I saw her shit.
What?
You talking about Sheila?
Mm-hmm.
I seen it.
Where she said she could have Ricky if she wanted.
She probably could.
Catherine lets him know that she's not worried and, trust him, but hopes she doesn't have to eat her words. So Marcus says that he isn't surprised Catherine wants a second date and is ready to do it again. Marcus arrives and says he's back for seconds. You can't keep him out the kitchen. I said, okay. He goes to
I
give
missed that part. He said you can't keep him out the kitchen.
uh-huh.
Like you said, uh-huh.
I love it on Marcus. So he goes to give Catherine a hug and tells Ricky, he needs to hug her first, and then he daps him up. So, and I thought that was super cute too. So they're also matching, and he jokes about them already looking like a couple. And he tells her the plans is to go bowling. And Ricky lets him know that he'll be bowling with his date as well. Marcus says, well, he's not going to worry about their date, and tells Ricky he'll see him in the morning. I said, mm, mm. And I'm sure if it was up to Catherine, they probably would have seen Ricky in the morning if she didn't have to go back to that house.
So over at Jasmine and Zay's house, she felt some type of way that he listened to Gayla but didn't listen to her. And he says maybe she must have activated my listening skills. So she's like, why can she spark those skills and I can't? And he said, I can't answer that question for you. So she just concluded that, he just doesn't care to listen. So she says, what did
She
she
asked
do?
what she could do to make
And
him.
he says, just be you. She clearly got aggravated. She's like, you know what? I'm about to go take a bath. Okay, because we ain't in the right headspace to be talking about this. Basically, I'm about to curse you out in front of these cameras. So you know what? Let me just walk away.
Right.
It's what I got. So Marcus and Kat are at the bowling alley, and he's giving her plenty of compliments again. Kat expects them to, have a great date since Ricky has established that there's no boundaries. I said, sugar, that's who this remind me of. So they already get into the little sexual innuendos, trying to figure out the right size of the ball he needs and what'll fit. And then he gives her a few bowling lessons.
Yes, he did.
Sheila and Ricky get to the bowling alley as Kat is talking about finding a life partner. And Marcus is talking about finding his queen because he's built an empire. She says that she likes that, they're in the same space as far as not having kids and their interest in real estate. He says, let's not forget that you are so damn pretty. Marcus. Marcus. And
You
Kat,
know what he was doing.
And Kat is loving the PDA. And she says this is what she was missing from Ricky, and Ricky should definitely be worried. I agree, girl. Ricky and Sheila are just a few lanes over from Kat, and he's clearly able to see that Marcus is laying it on thick. He said he can't believe that Kat would let him disrespect him like that. And he says, I guess we don't care about boundaries. According to Kat, ain't none, sir. So what are you talking about?
Okay, he thought Catherine was taking it too far.
Now, Joya, she's not happy about this double date situation. And, it doesn't help that Jasha is concerned about what his date is going to be wearing. Sir, you better pump your brakes. And he talks about how he might be distracted by her big old booty. See, this is where we would have had to.
Right. That's when all bets would have went out the window.
All this woosah stuff that y'all got going on. Listen. Now, we know Miss Brittany, okay? She's super excited to go on a second date with Jasha. But she's surprised because, she thought Joya was a little extra. Brittany gets there and noticed that Joya also has on some workout clothes. And Joya says, yeah, I'll be at the same place you're at, boo. So you won't be able to feel all up on my man without me seeing you. And the energy that Brittany was giving was,
I don't give a damn if you see it or not.
You'll just be watching it then.
Right.
And Jasha is.
What she said, I don't mind a little competition.
Exactly. And Jasha is just, he's loving this energy. And he's like, I got two beautiful women in workout clothes, and this is just good vibes for me.
Now, Zay comes downstairs in a suit, and Jasmine tells him, oh, you look nice, but why he's in a suit for his date. He said he wanted to be him and dressed like it was an interview. And Jasmine questions, is he planning on hiring somebody? I thought that was cute.
Right?
She said the last time she seen him in a suit was for a funeral. And she tells him she never seen him so dressed up to go out, and said it's nice to see what he's capable of. That's something I would say. Be like, oh, it's nice to see you're capable of doing it for somebody else that's not me. So Jasmine lets him know that she's going to trust the process and try to channel her inner Dr. Stacy and let him enjoy his date. Zay says he's still going to be cutting his eyes to see what's going on with her date.
He wasn't lying. I said he wasn't lying.
He was not. Now, Zay's date, Naya, 31, apparently is an entrepreneur, pulls up, and she said she's motivated and loves to have fun. Who wouldn't love that? And believes Jasmine may be a little bit intimidated. I don't think so. We learned Naya is from Detroit originally, but Zay lets her know that she's very pretty. No shade to Jasmine. So Jasmine wants to slap the mess out of Zay. And, she's like, he says something about upping the ante against her. And she's like, why would you? I'm your girl. Why would you try to pit her? It didn't make sense, and it didn't make sense to me either. Zay admits he probably shouldn't have said that and knows that his mouth is always getting him in trouble. And Jasmine is concerned what other disrespectful shit he can possibly say on his date. So then Zay knows that he has to be on his best behavior and keeps
after that little stunt he pulled.
Right. And keep his nose out of Jasmine's date. Now, Naya asked about his relationship, and he says that he and Jasmine have been together, obviously for 3 years, as we know, and she's special. Now, he says she's not insecure, and it's more about his communication being broken, and he says that he often shuts down. So Naya tells him to get through things, they have to talk about it. And I love when he says to get to it, you got to go through it. So you just don't do it like that.
We got a real Dr. Seuss over here.
Okay. So we meet Sean Carter. I liked his name, just his name. But
I liked him.
He's a network engineer and is originally from South Carolina. That's them good old Southern boys. He thinks Jasmine is beautiful, and Jasmine loves the flowers he brought for her and just the thought in general, and says Zay's rude comment is going to be the furthest thing from her mind. Go ahead, sis. Now she walks in and he immediately can't keep his eyes. Well, Zay
is thrown off. He is immediately thrown off his game.
Zay says Sean came in with a suit and flowers looking like he was trying to sell insurance. I'm not gonna lie.
My thing is, you got the nerve to talk about this man's suit. Didn't you come here looking like you was going for an interview?
Okay. The nerve. And basically, Zay is confused on how he's going to focus on his date with the insurance salesman on the date with Jasmine. So Sean is happy to learn Jasmine.
Sit over there in your interview, sir.
Right. Jasmine is from Brooklyn. And he lets her know, he's from South Carolina, but always literally said he prayed for a girl from up north. Jasmine advises him that, we can tend to be a little bit aggressive. And he says he likes that because he can be aggressive as well. I said, okay. Now, at this time, Zay is making small talk about Naya's spicy margarita. You can tell he is really uninterested in her or anything that she got going on. And
he's trying to focus, but he can't.
He can't. Jasmine asked Sean, what he likes to do, and he says travel. And she asks, what's the best place he's ever been? And he says Monaco. And then we learn he went to a Formula One race and said it was the bougiest thing he ever did, but he loved it. And Jasmine is here for it too. She's like, I like bougie. Clearly, she took a whole flight for a man she met on IG. So
over at the bowling alley, Ricky is scoring nothing but gutters. And Sheila realizes that he's distracted. So she decides they need to take a break. And he says,
Oh, is that why they stopped? Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I didn't think I really understood why they stopped. I thought I know he wasn't focused, but I thought they just wanted to take a minute and talk. I didn't know.
She was like, yeah, you're distracted. Let's just chill. So, he says that he knows, like, he's not the insecure type, but he feels like she's going a little overboard. He's confident and he trusts her because they've been in a relationship built off of 10 years of friendship, and nobody's just going to shake that up in 2 days. Now, he tells Sheila he wanted them both to have a good time and see them in each other's elements. She says, you need to separate all that because at the end of the day, she's your girl. And women need to feel appreciated and acknowledged for every single thing that they do. And if you don't show them that, they question themselves as far as to where they stand in your relationship. And I know you don't want that. Okay. And he said, he needs, he knows he needs to get better. And she's like, why don't we just role play it then? Why
don't you try me first? Do it to me first.
He like, you trying to get my ass whooped. She's like, I'm surprised you ain't already got your ass whooped. Mm-hmm. So over on the next side, okay, Kat got Mark over there feeding her chicken wings.
And this scene.
And then he's cleaning up the booby mess with his tongue. I said, oh, when she said no boundaries, she said she meant no boundaries. She said she welcomes, Mark's affection and attention. She's
I
grown
feel
so
you,
much.
girl. I welcome it too.
You're so stupid. She's grown so much and recognized that she is the prize. Okay. And being a prize, you don't wait on certain things. And she hopes Ricky picks up a few pointers. Girl, stop worrying about Ricky because Ricky ain't got it in him.
No.
Now she asked Mark, why is he single? He says that he keeps his personal and business life separate, but now he's making time for the personal. She said the same thing that she's battling with. But as a woman, it's so hard because it seems like the main priority is family. And she's been trying to create her own space of intimacy within the home because it's a full house. And Mark is completely confused. He's like, you trying to create your own space of intimacy. Like, what?
In a house full of people.
Yeah. So, he's like, when do you get your own time? She says, because they don't ever have the time or the space where she can be wooed, where he can give her flowers and massages and all, be wooed. And Mark is like, oh, that's easy. Like, boo, that's all you need. I got you. So he asked her then, I love this question. He asked her how many years she plans to endure that and told her that she's tolerating.
I love that part. When he told her that,
So,
I said, Marcus, you better. You better. We saw that from episode
now he
1.
said 2 halves make a whole, but 2 wholes make a couple. Now he said
that boy good.
That boy good. He said, now since we speaking about intimacy, let me move a little closer to you. She said Marcus reminds her of what she wants. Is really out there. Girl, he right in front of you. Okay. Don't need to look any further. And like they could actually have something and it would be along the lines of what she actually wants. And they take off with his arms wrapped around her waist as Ricky stares at them leaving.
Woo,
now this just felt like a telenovela.
Okay.
I feel Jesus was just spicing up. Now, back on Zay's date, he really just cannot focus on his date. But she let him know that she's attracted to him and asked him how he feels about that. He says it's awesome.
The way he shut that bitch down, I said, I need my man to be like this.
Okay? You went from saying she's real pretty in front of your girl to saying you being attracted to me is awesome.
No, what did they say? What do you say? You don't like friendly? That was giving. He was like, no, don't pass go.
We ain't
don't
doing friendly no more. And says it's nice to hear from someone outside of the person he's in a relationship with. Now, Jasmine and Sean are across the room holding hands, and he tells her that he needs a woman with a backbone, and she agrees and says, but you have to do it respectfully, and sometimes we don't recognize that words hurt. And he act like he caught the Holy Ghost. Like, that's what I'm talking about. God needs you in my life. Naya let him know that, it felt a little awkward expressing myself, telling you I'm attracted to you.
And you give me
and you giving me nothing. And he let her know, that, he thought it was, awkward of him because his woman is right across at the next table. So you're damn right I'm being awkward. What would you do?
Right.
And she said, but she did notice that she was back there. Zay basically told her, put some respect on Jasmine's name.
I love this.
I love that part too. In the confessional, he said, you're going to put some respect on it. That's my woman. Okay. And I think she thought that
I will say, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you would like Zay at all, but how he curved that bitch, that would definitely be the energy that you would want your dude.
That's the energy I want my man to have all the time, not just because I'm at the next table with the next bitch. Okay, we shouldn't even have a reason to be on this show.
Woo, that part.
Okay, No, that So in the confessional, he said, "You're gonna put some respect on it. That's my woman." And I think she thought that she misunderstood what he said, but he repeated it. He said her name is Jasmine, not she. And she corrected herself.
And then it was just awkward silence after that. I don't think that they
Yeah, I think she should have just packed it up and went home at that point.
like, thank you. I appreciate you paying for the date. Check, please.
Well, not even him. Now Sean is explaining to Jasmine that he doesn't eat a lot of seafood. He really just eats turkey and chicken, and really says it's for health reasons because part of his mother's side is
Predispositioned.
yes, predispositioned for hypertension and a lot of cardiac issues. And that's actually how his mom passed in 2018 and on his birthday. And let me tell you something. If she didn't already have a man, okay, I guarantee you he would have got some sympathy coochie. I'm trying to tell you from this conversation.
Oh yeah, because
Then listen, then look to up the ante.
right.
Okay. Um, then she said that her dad passed away in June. So she's still learning how to deal with that. So he's like, yeah, we got a lot in common. And
We're
he says
trauma bonding.
his father also passed away during the pandemic. So he understands the space that she's trying to navigate. Let me tell you something. This alone, boy, you lucky you lucky that you in that restaurant because he might have taken your woman home that night. I'm trying to tell you.
That might have
Now,
happened.
she asked, "What do you do when you miss her?" He said, "She's not here physically, but when I want to talk to her, I just talk to her." And he understands the journey that she's going through. Now Zay asked Naya if he ran his mouth too much about Jasmine, and she nervously says, "I don't know." Well, she definitely meant yes. Hell yeah. You just told me to correct myself calling her from she to Jasmine. You damn right. Over at Jasmine's table, they're toasting to new beginnings and new adventures.
We got a winner. I'm just saying. I'm here.
Chicken dinner.
Right. I am here for Sean and Jasmine. No offense to you, Zay, but I hate when y'all always realize when it's too late, you know. But that's what you get. You take months for granted. Now, Brittany and Jasha arrive on their date to work out, and Joya arrives and excited about her date with Jacoby. She is concerned about Jasha being on his date with Brittany and hopes she can remain calm and in control. So when Joya walks in, she sees Jasha touching Brittany. They were in like some squat pose. It was, yeah, and hopes, and gives Jasha a kiss. She has to let her presence be known. However, she plans on letting Jacoby do some touching as well. So Brittany says she feels like Joya is messing up their vibe and wants her to go away. And so Joya is now stretching with Jacoby, and he decides to yell across the gym at Jasha and says he's seen why he's been around for 2 years. And he feels Jasha, literally. So Jasha said he can't feel nothing. And Jacoby responds, well, this is yours. So
Listen, I don't know what position Joya and Jacoby was doing. I don't remember I don't know what it's called.
they
But
were
that
just doing the stretch, that back and
yeah, he was real close to her love below.
forth.
That's all I want to say. Cause
That was funny. So basically Joya isn't feeling this at all, this back and forth. And Jacoby basically isn't focused on her, and Jasha isn't focused on Brittany. So Jasha wasn't feeling the disrespects and basically feels like if they was in the streets, it would have been totally different. Now, Brittany tells them that, she likes
you
that
keep
he's
on saying that, Mr. Wusa. But anytime you asked about it, you don't care. You're okay. You
right.
are zen.
So Brittany tells him that she likes he's a quiet leader and doesn't do too much, but makes his presence known. I said,
Mm-hmm.
girl, you good
I
with your
said, girl, you is
right?
she come Joya. Joya.
Right.
Be concerned. She is coming for your crown.
Okay. Brittany says he's a lover boy. And he wants his partner to understand the different levels of love. He says you can love someone and still need to let them go. Brittany questions, is that where he is right now? And he tells her he's trying to work it out, but Joya needs to get in flow. And then he goes on to tell production that he feels he's doing what he needs in hopes that Joya can realize that basically, if they don't have kids, they're already blessed with their own children and can still build a long-term relationship. But if not, he hopes that he or she, one of them may have to walk away. And that's okay. That doesn't mean he don't love her. They just not meant to be. I was like, damn, Jasha. Um, and so basically, Jacoby is having a conversation with what's the girl named Joya, and it's just so awful. I felt so bad for this baby. She asked him if he's ever dated a woman with kids, and he said he did when he was young, and then asked her son's age, and we learned that her son is 11. And basically, he says that he doesn't take women with children seriously. And she asked why, and he says because the child always comes first, and then he's going to have to put her first, and then he comes second. So he said, and her son being his age will probably be, get into a situation of telling him that, basically, you're not my dad. And he said he's sure her son is a sweet child, but his experience hasn't been the best with dating women with kids. So Joya, feels he has a right to feel the way he feels about dating a single mom, but is confused that he would say that to a single mom and
She's
thinks
like, why am I on a second date with this man?
right and
If
thinks
you
that
know
his
I'm a mom.
priority should be trying to get a third date. I actually respected him for it because basically he's letting you know I'll fuck you, but ain't nothing coming after that. Like there's nothing serious coming out of this. So won't no point in you going on a third date with him, even if he was trying to do that. I can like, even though it was really his delivery was
The
really
settling and
yeah, his delivery was really messed up, but at the end of the day, I respect his honesty. I do. So then basically Joya's obviously not feeling him at this point. And then he goes on to say that, they can have fun, but there's not going to be anything serious, and tells her he doesn't have to settle and is used to dating top tier women. Well, we know what that car you driving. You ain't attracted little tier, so just saying. Joya
no
wants,
little tears.
I'm just saying, Joya wants to get off this date and hates having to see Jasha get rubbed down by Brittany and not have a care in the world. Well, look, what they say, the grass always looks greener on the other side. Now, the couples arrive for counseling with Dr. Stacy, and she tells the couple she wanted them to do this to really examine themselves. So she starts with Catherine, and she says that Marcus was, giving out a lot of compliments. And Dr. Stacy says, if those are things Ricky doesn't do, and she says the consistency is not there. So obviously Ricky compliments her, but it's not very often or on a regular basis. And she said out the gate, Marcus was opening doors and doing things Ricky already knows that she's asked for, and even points out that his son even goes to open the doors for her and his father don't. So basically Dr. Stacey explains that, Ricky kind of feels some type of way that she said that. And Dr. Stacey explains that, it's about the detail. And Ricky, you need to hear that. That's what this is about. So Catherine admits she likes what she's seeing in Marcus. And she asked Ricky how he felt about their date. Ricky tries to play like he was cool and, basically wasn't affected by seeing Kat and Marcus on their date. And Dr. Stacy says he's not affected by anything. And he basically says, like, I've always been like that. So it gives me very nonchalant. Off no ball, if I was his girl, I would have been pissed. I don't need you to be arrogantly or crazy jealous.
She was pissed.
But the fact that you had no feelings seeing me with another dude, why are we together?
Because they had 10 years of friendship.
Girl.
They're friends.
So, and then, yeah, basically she tells him everything is cool, is not going to bring her closer to him. And she lets him know it's okay to feel. And Ricky responds that, he's not, nothing's going to make his actions different. That's just who he is. And so basically, yeah, Dr. Stacy is a little frustrated with Ricky and says the process is not about not feeling, especially when you're with someone who wants to hear she's attractive more consistently and wants to feel honored. And Catherine basically says the fact that he's willing to just let her go questions whether she wants him to be the one to put a ring on it or not. And I
I
said,
bet you Marcus got space for you, boo. I
well,
bet you.
I really was here for this episode. Cat, get out.
Please.
Get out.
Please. Ain't that
Because
much change in the
that the
world.
fact that I didn't expect him to break down and cry, but just the fact that he had no.
But he's not even affectionate towards her. Like, they're like friends.
Sometimes they say sometimes when you start off as friends, you need to keep it in that friend space. You shouldn't be trying to make it a relationship.
Marcus. Marcus.
Because look, her and Marcus got attraction out the gate. That's not a problem. So, guys, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think about this episode. But if you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you're following us on TikTok, Twitter, IG, Facebook. And we will catch you in a few days for another new episode of Put a Ring on It. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.